Hello, my name is Darkmane. Today I'm going to go through something a little bit different, something I've never done on this channel, but I am going to attempt to make a song with you. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the scale to 12/8, and we're going to grab a loop from the loops library. So I'm going to start this off with a guitar, if I can find a guitar. Let's do a rhythm guitar. Okay, that sounds nice. Let's do that guitar. And I think we're going to make this about 80 beats per minute, which is quite slow, but it's what I'm feeling. And we're going to do a B major. Next thing I want is I want a beat. So let's find a beat. Or I think something like this might work. So we'll go into here and we'll see how those look together. I don't want you to use my iPhone microphone, thank you. That sounds good, so we'll loop those on and off. And next what I like to add is either a bass line or a synth. So we're going to look for a synth. And I think that one's going to do. So we'll add that about here. And again, I started from the beginning and see how it all sounds together. I'm going to lower the synth volume just a tiny bit though, and see how it sounds. Okay, that synth needs to be a bit louder. We'll lower those beats just a tiny bit and lower the guitar just a tiny bit. And then bring up the synth volume. There we go, liking how that sounds. And we'll loop that also. Now we'll just let that continue playing until we reach a point where we want to add a drop or a slight adjustment to the page, to the track, sorry. So I sort of go here and then add, and then like I say, I like to add a bass. So if we sort of get a bass, and we'll go onto a type bass and add that right about here, and then start playing that too. And what I like to do here is I like to go onto automations, and right as that bass comes, we'll just lower the volume of everything else slightly so that we can hear the bass. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do 2 points there, and there we go. Let's see how that sounds. Okay, that might be lowered just a tad bit too much. So let's just bring that up just a tiny bit more so that we can still hear the bass, that we can still hear the instruments in the background. There we go. That's about what I wanted. And then if we continue to loop that bass, and what I sometimes do is, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to lower that beat there, and we're going to get another beat that's more intense. So if we try and find another beat, let's try and do, no, that doesn't work. Let's try and do the turbocharger beat. Nope, how about under pressure beat? If we loop the under pressure beat and then start it here, And let's see how that works. Okay, and then we'll loop that off here and go back to our normal beat. So, and then we'll turn off that bass. So we basically have a area here where the bass comes in and then comes out. So if we listen to that back again, and after that comes out, we want to raise the volume to that 0.6 again. So if we basically do this, and then you want to see how this sounds. And then if we go right at the bottom, we're basically going to fade these out, fade this out, and the beat is the last thing I like to fade out right at the end. But what I also like to do is I like to go and add a reverb right on the end as it's fading out. So we'll go right here and up the reverb just there, and we'll also do that to the guitar. Up the reverb right here as it fades out, and then let's listen to this from the beginning. Basically, that is just a very short song and how I created it. If you want to listen to the song, I'll have it uploaded to the channel so you can go and listen to it. That's all for now. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Recording there.